the best way to get started is just like to have something like, I just need to figure out, I think, like, basically an open source LLM hardware device that I can interact with, but I mean, a lot of people are doing that, but then connecting that to some type of network that can basically then supercharge those insights, or why people would use that, because in a way, like, an airplane is like, nobody would want to use an airplane if there was nowhere to fly to, like, and so I think like the network is like kind of the destinations, then we can connect you to like an esoteric healer about past lives,
I see.
or like, it's like basically there's like, it's like basically this map, right, that people look at, and they look at America and Africa and Europe, Russia, China, Australia, all these different, New Zealand, Antarctica. So the world map is what it is, but it wasn't always like this, right? It's like people used to look at the map and thought this was it, and then someone rediscovered America. I mean, obviously there were Native Americans, but like in terms of like the people who created the cartography and the maps, then the map expanded, and so now everything is restricted to like the waking state and like the material universe, and like the only thing that is out there is like basically like other planets, right? But like basically what we're proposing here is like, or like, there's another reality to this, which is more like outside the waking state, through different mental states, through meditative states, through like, but I don't know, like my autistic friend says, like, he knows how to like active imagining during the day, so you can, he said he doesn't know what to use it for, but like, there's different things, like, different tricks that people can teach you. And all I'm saying is like, basically, the network is basically building ships to get you to these different destinations, on this map that is not really visible yet, right? And so the AI companion is just like, it's something that is, I think, a good first product. Because the problem right now is like with AI, the way I use it, it's very isolated, it's like it doesn't learn from it doesn't remember who I am, like I use it more like a search engine, and it doesn't really interact with me, like, like in a video game, there's more interaction, between the AI and the main character. And like, right now, all these AI systems, they're more like a search engine, they're more interested in getting all of this data. They're not thinking about more like as a consumer-oriented product, and so that's where, like, I think that's where the opportunity more is to like basically build like an AI interface that can basically help you with your mental stuff, with interacting, and then it can connect you to all these different ships or vehicles, through the network of like people taking you there, like, like through like psychedelic journeys in the Netherlands or whatever, like you said, and it could be offline or online, and then basically based on your input into like the AI interface, then people like, and what you decide to share, then we can connect you to different people, like, and that's like, I think, much harder to like replicate and replace,
For sure.
and you're basically putting data, your personal data, into like, you're collecting it yourself, really, because it's like you're not putting it into the network, you're just more like crypto, like you're holding it yourself, but then you can decide to share something and then connect to other people. So yeah,
do you think,
because I think, that's what it is, like there's like a vast network of people already in the world that are offering all these kinds of like esoteric services, but there's no platform to like where you can just like hire them or like connect with them, and like, And in a way, like that's what people are already offering, right? People are already offering different spaces, right?
Like which ones?
They're already offering different spaces, like healers, like meditation, like a meditation for 1 hour or something like this, or yoga instructors for 1 hour, or Tai Chi for 1 hour, like that's already like being offered, like in many different ways. So we can try to see how we can offer that as well.
We have advantage of having me here as a curator. I can curate people and I can say very quick yes and no to each person psychically. Like I can sense how clean their channel
but we don't
is.
We don't need to monitor. Like we can just have certain standards, and then I don't think it's like we need to have like judge people. Oh, this is not approved. This is approved.
No,
like we just want to have like.
In the beginning, it will be a curation of people. I still believe that it's important to have some kind of like a chat space that is currently to even train the AI on these answers, the most popular answers that one can give as a space holder. What are the patterns there to kind of start training AI with the people that we start bringing in, the kind of models. And then the device will come up, or the AI or the app will come up, and then the device will come up. So it will be all kind of, kind of training into each other. And I'm excited. I'm very motivated to bring in like say 12 to 40 people who are
because then you can host spaces. You can host spaces yourself, and then people who can host spaces. And then you can also use the you can use because like a game is usually controller with a game, and then like multiplayer with other people, like so
say again games, so like, there's one controller,
like no there's a console that has the game that you put the game in, and you have the controller, so you can navigate through the world, and then there's other people. Some games are multiplayer, so there's other people, like but I think like
so why not we make it public? We record it. It can be on X, it can be on Telegram, different places. We start recording them, start collecting data. That's important.
No, but again, it needs to be focused on a product that people can use, individuals can use. It's very simple. It's very professional. It can't be just like this like hipster thing where like we're all putting something into a group chat and like it's like, okay, what is a product? That what's like something I can use tomorrow? I need to figure that out.
But the product will come up.
I'm so limited by what I think I don't have and what I can't do. I'm not even using my imagination, and I just need to imagine the product and then figure out how to build it, and then then we can improve it, and more resources can make it better. But like it starts first with like in a way just use my imagination to build this, like that's it.
That's
like
good.
And then also where I become less stressed out, more relaxed, and so there's the two components to it. One is like the AI interface, and then the other one is like the healing platform, like Airbnb. And then the crypto aspect would be like to say, okay, well, all this data is like you hold it yourself, But I don't know if too many people even care about this like being fully private, Maybe people, but in a way, like when you're talking about dreams and journaling, I feel like that's the right thing to do would be to say it's like it's like not, we don't have that access to this data, like it would be very valuable, because other than that, it's like we don't want to build a business model around collecting people's dream data, like I don't think that's the right thing to do here. It needs to be more like you have the device and you generate it yourself, and then from that you can decide to share something, and that's where the crypto comes in, in a way, because cryptography is about like about encryption, about other things, blockchains, but ideally, like we need to think about like not like the constraints, but more like, okay, what is like. Anyway, like I think the product is just more like imagining what it could be, imagining what it is, what it can be, and not thinking about, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't like. And so, what would help me is like every day, because feeding systems, like now I'm doing journaling, but it's very like isolating. I don't usually look at them and again, and it's
Okay.
very I don't know. I just have these videos and like or text or voice, but like, what do I do with it? You know, I'm not really. And then like
You
I will.
train your own LMM on that. You train it.
You, yeah, you want to have something that it remembers you.
Yeah.
You know, and it could be like I said, like in a video game, you create your own character. It doesn't have to be your real name or something. You know, it can be more playful than that. And then you can be known as that person in the metaverse. You know, and you can operate with that identity in that metaverse. You know, basically. So I think there's a lot of like things you can integrate this with,
For sure.
and then you can, I mean, you can then decide to use that data, but it needs to be like data that you own, you know, and then we need to help you to like back it up with something in a secure way, you know, because most people will not know how to do this, or we can also offer to host it, you know, but like it's like. Um, if we want to also integrate crypto, then it needs to have the right principles, you know, and we're not going to do like a Facebook thing where like people just like share all their dreams or their meditations and journals, you know, and then
Have
and so ideally
corporations
then
use them. Yeah.
like it needs to be some device that works offline, no internet, you know. It's like basically something that can run an LLM on the device, you know, and that's probably possible. And then and then basically then the interface is more like a remote, you know, then you can connect to all these other people, to all these different spaces, you know, you can basically be part of this world, you know, that already exists in some sense, because it does, because people have been exploring this world for centuries, and it's real, and it's like just because it's not out there on a map and it's visible, that's where the network helps, you know, to make it more visible. And I think that's very powerful, because basically like right now it feels like very esoteric. It feels like very like not really happening. It feels like, you know, you're like even very contrarian to think about it, you know. It's like very against mainstream. But everybody has these mental health problems, you know, basically. And everybody could like benefit from more mental mobility, like, you know.
Mental mobility. I love that. Yeah.
And so it's like it's like, because, you know, we're not going to build the most powerful LLM AI agent, but we can integrate that, and we can integrate crypto, and we can integrate like a network, and then all of these things together, you know, are powerful. Just like a video,
sure.
like Sony is making the PlayStation, but you know, or Nintendo, and some of them, okay, they created some of the games, but also other people are creating games, you know, and like, you know, they didn't create the graphic card, you know, and they didn't create all these different